Have you ever wanted to create your own handicapping dream team? You can build your own superstar handicapping lineup using our Pick Your Team program at both WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Even more exciting, until Monday, September 12th at midnight, you can save 10% off Pick Your Team using coupon code PYT10 when checking out. Dave Koken, Marco D'Angelo, and Ralph Michaels, JM Sports, Joseph D'Amico, and the Rocket Man. The combinations are endless as you can choose up to 5 handicappers. You start saving once you choose any 2 handicappers of your choice, and you can pay as little as under $6 per handicapper. Who will make up your dream lineup? Go to Wager Talk or Sports Memo, click Pick Your Team, and personally hand select your handicapping roster. Don't forget that coupon code PYT will expire on September 12th, so get your 10% discount and put together your personalized dream team today.
Welcome into First Pitch for Thursday, September 8th. I am Drew Martin, joined by Jimmy Adams and Steve Merrill of WagerTalk.com. We are talking 3 games on the slate for tonight. We got best bets at the end, as always. Marlins, Phillies, Twins, Yankees, White Sox, and A's in the nightcap before best bets. So guys, let's get after it. Heading to Philadelphia here. Jimmy, coming to you first. We get the Fish and the Phils. Alcantara on the hill versus Gibson. We're seeing the Phillies about minus 130 favorites. Low total here, total of just 7. Marlins have been bad, losing 9 straight. 8-28 their last 36. Only 77 runs scored in that time. That is 40 runs fewer than the next worst team, being the Pirates. I don't know. I know Alcantara's good over the course of the season here, Jimmy, but I don't know if this is enough plus price on the Fish. Are you liking anything in Philadelphia tonight?
I think we're thinking along the same lines, Drew. I mean, the lack of offensive production from Miami just makes this team absolutely unbackable right now. They've lost 9 straight, as you mentioned. They scored 3 runs in yesterday's loss. Prior to that, hadn't scored more than 2 in any of the previous 8 losses. So, tough team to get to the window with for sure. And it's not like Sandy Alcantara's been unhittable as of late. He gives up 6 earned in his last start. 2 starts prior to that, another 6 earned. So, not in the best current form for a pitcher that's normally a bet-on guy. He gave 3 home runs in his last start as well. So, yeah, big bounce-back spot for Kyle Gibson right now. He was lit up against the Giants team that is mediocre at best. But prior to that, it strung together 6 straight quality outings. I hadn't given up more than 3 earned in any of those. I have this Phillies offense rated much higher than Miami, obviously. And also worth noting that Edmundo Sosa, he's one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now. Guy's 8-9 with a pair of home runs in his last 10 plate appearances. So I'll be siding with the Phillies offense. Give me Philly tonight minus the 1.
Okay, and Steve, are you liking anything in Philadelphia tonight?
Well, it's always that debate about a good pitcher on a bad team, right? How much can he carry a team? And as Jimmy said, he's coming off a bad start. Alcantara, that is, was giving up the 6 runs in just 5 innings. It was weird, though. He only gave up 1 walk and 7 hits in the 5 innings, but he did give up 3 home runs. So he was just off. Whether that's a sign of things to come, I don't think so, because this is a guy that had given up 2 home runs total in his previous 5 starts. So could be the buy sign. Obviously, this is a hold your nose and play the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins, your Miami Marlins, Drew Martin, because you mentioned how bad the offense has been in recent weeks. This is obviously a team that's just trying to finish out the season. But I believe Alcantara, I'd have to check my odds. I believe at the All-Star break, he was the front-runner odds-on favorite to be the Cy Young winner for the NL. So this guy's really good. If there's ever a spot to take the Marlins, it's probably tonight.
Yeah, he was, Steve. I mean, 2 of his last 3 starts, he's given up 6 or more earned runs. So actually, I haven't checked the Cy Young, but I'm sure it's starting to tighten here. And, my formerly Florida Marlins, tell you the truth, I still think they should be the Florida Marlins, but that's a story for another day. As we head to New York here, Steve, we get the Yankees and the Twins. Sonny Gray versus Nestor Cortez. Speaking of Miami, the Hialeah native here, commanding a minus 135 to as high as minus 140 price tag. That's the Yanks at home. Total of 7. Minnesota's lost 3 straight. New York Yankees have won 4 straight. What are you thinking tonight in New York, Steve?
Yeah, by the way, Drew, I had to pull him up. Alcantara is minus 300 still to be the Cy Young winner. Is that crazy? This is, I mean,
Yeah.
if he's going to hold on, I mean, that's like an 75% chance he's going to win the thing. And like you said, I mean, this guy's given up 13 own runs in his last 3 starts, 12 in 2 of the games, and he's still minus 300. I think it's just because he was so far ahead of everybody else, obviously. For those interested, Zach Gallen 6-1, Max Fried 8-1, Urias 9-1. So that's the only other, and Gonsolin, the other Dodgers, 20-1 actually. Verlander minus 155, Cease plus 110. McClanahan, who I think was the favorite actually in the American League at the All-Star break, is now 22-1. He's actually the guy, your Tampa Bay Rays, that has really fallen. Anyway, I digress. Thought that was interesting to say the least. Speaking of digressing, Yankees, we got to talk about them, right? I mean, this is a team that had a monster lead all season. It's now 5 over the Rays, who have now won 8 out of 10. The Yankees are still just 5-5, their last 10. We talked about these odds Tuesday, speaking of future odds, right? I mentioned them on the show Tuesday. We were talking about could the Yankees lose that division. It's still like 1-20 that they win the division. The Rays were 10-1. The Blue Jays were 15-1 on Tuesday when I last checked. So Yankees most likely hold on to win this division. The team that's really fighting right now, actually, more importantly, is Minnesota. This is a team that's 2 back of the Cleveland Guardians and tied with the White Sox 2 back as well in that AL Central. And you're going to have to win that division because White Sox and Twins are both 7.5 out of the wild card. So even though the Yankees need to get going at some point, I think this game is still much more important for the Twins tonight. And the Yankee offense, it's live by the long ball, die by the long ball, just like the 3-point shot in college hoops. I think it's now 12 straight games that they've had single-digit hits, 9 hits or less. They don't put the ball in play a lot, and that's one of the reasons they've been very inconsistent. I know they've won 4 straight, and the Twins have lost 6 out of 7. But I still think the Twins might be a live dog in this game tonight.
Okay. Jimmy, what about you? Plus price on the Twins worth a shot?
Yeah, so if I was going to take a dog on today's card, this would probably be it. The Yankees are an injured group right now. I mean, Josh Donaldson's been hurt, or Josh Donaldson on paternity leave, I believe. Giancarlo Stanton's got a foot injury. DJ LeMahieu's been hurt. A lot of Yankees banged up right now. The problem is New York has won 10 straight home games versus Minnesota, and they're 24-2 in their last 26 against them in New York. So Minnesota has a lot of trouble for whatever reason winning in New York. Circumstances a little different with all the injuries, and we know how much New York has struggled over the past plus. Sonny Gray also doesn't have the best numbers against the Yankees, but he's been a great pitcher all year, and he's off, a bunch of phenomenal starts. I don't have the exact numbers right in front of me, but Sonny Gray, definitely a guy that I can back as we try to cash a ticket against this Yankees team that is injury riddled. So I'll take a shot with the dog here with the Twins.
All right, guys, we'll revisit this in Best Bets as we got 1 game left. Best Bets at the end. Huge shout out to the chat box, Matt in the house. We got Jessica asking about the NFL as well as it kicks off tonight. Yeah, everybody joining us live. Robert Gall, Raven Ron, Luis as well. So we got last game up, head into the Coliseum here. Jimmy, we get Dylan Cease on the hill in the running for the Cy Young here up against Sears, the lefty, going for the A's. Total of 7. High money line, minus 190, as high as minus 200 out there looking at the Wager Talk odds screen. That's the White Sox playing better baseball, 6-2 their last 8 here, Jimmy. I don't know, a little bit pricey. You liking anything late night here in Oakland?
Yeah, so this is my favorite game. I'll make this my best bet later, but I like the White Sox on the run line for sure. I'm going to continue to try and pick on an A's team that's struggling. As they open a 4-game set with the visiting White Sox. They've now dropped 6 of 7 behind an offense that ranks 29th in runs per game, 30th in batting average. The lone bright spot for Oakland here is J.P. Sears has pitched really well, but Oakland State bottom 5 bullpen in terms of ERA, so I'm not super worried with Sears being on the hill because we have Dylan Cease, who is – I haven't seen a pitcher throw better this season than Dylan Cease all year. I mean, and he's off a phenomenal start, complete game shutout, allowed just 1 hit versus the Twins. And Chicago is starting to heat up. They've won 6 of 8. The bats came to life yesterday in a 9-7, and this is a team that really needs to make a push right now if they want to win the division. These are games that they have to win to do it. Tony La Russa not with the team right now, and Elvis Andrus gets to face his former team as he was picked up by Chicago. So I'm going to pick on the A's. Give me the South Side on the run line this evening.
Sure, that might be the way to go tonight, Steve. I mean, Cesase on the hill. The Sox are facing a lefty, depending on what metric you want to go off of. One of the best hitting lineups against lefties as well. They are the road team. That's kind of the time to bet a team on the run line. Steve, what do you like it in the Coliseum?
Yeah, I believe the White Sox 5-2 now without La Russa, and he's a guy that was kind of on the hot seat. It might not have been on the hot seat, but at least with sports bettors and pundits for the entire summer when the White Sox continued to underachieve all year, basically. I think they've been one of the bigger underperformers in baseball, considering what they were supposed to do when the season began. That, La Russa has gotten some criticism, and the 77-year-old is out for health reasons, but they are 5-2 without him, and hard to imagine they're going to rush him back, even though he theoretically could come back. He hasn't been fired, but I do think that was a little bit of a spark, and we've seen the managerial change spark other teams at points this season. Now, whether that lasts for multiple months, it normally doesn't, but once again, we're talking about just 1 week ago. They are 5-2, and I think this is still the short term, and I'm not a big proponent of playing on must-win teams, right? Because what I always say is that if they were good enough to win when they had to, they wouldn't be in must-win situations. And the White Sox are kind of in a must-win spot here, just one game above 500, 2 out of the division lead, as I mentioned earlier. But the other side of the equation is the Athletics, other than my Washington Nationals, Drew Martin, have been the worst team in baseball this year. Oakland's now 37 games below 500. They're just playing out the stretch. And, sometimes these bad teams get a catalyst late in the season when they call up the AAA guys. Doesn't appear to be happening for Oakland. They've lost 6 of their last 7. They did have a 1-run loss to Atlanta a couple nights ago. I know because that prevented a 2-0 sweep for my clients. Braves found a way to let Oakland back in that game multiple times. But otherwise, Oakland's not covering run line. So instead of laying than 190, I'd rather lay the much cheaper price, -1.5, -$1.15. Their recent losses, other than that 1-run loss to Atlanta during this 1-6 slide, it's been by 4-2, 3, 7, and 4. And I think that happens again tonight. I like the White Sox.
All right, so White Sox run line, and I guess we can transition here to best bets. So, Steve, I'll throw it back to you, man. I know you got a lot going on at WagerTalk.com. You got a lot of shows coming out just a bit outside. Not sure if that's one, but I know the NFL, the public money one, that's always a good one, guys. Check that out with the NFL Week 1, actually starting tonight, but I believe you go over the Sunday card, Steve. I'll throw it over to you, man. Final thoughts for the show. What do you got going on, and where are you going for best bets?
Yeah, we got a lot of content at Wager Talk TV. And by the way, Wager Talk TV hit 100,000 subscribers today, this morning, overnight this morning. And it's ironic because I looked yesterday to see how close we were. And I realized yesterday on Wednesday, we hit 29 million views on the channel since it started 8 years ago. And obviously, it's exponential from here. So special thank you, everybody out there that's been part of this family and that has helped this network grow. And once again, to keep the content free, do us a favor. If you haven't hit subscribe, it's not too late. We're trying to get to 200,000. Hit that button. Hit the bell for instant alerts if you want my videos this weekend. The minute they're on this channel, you get an instant alert. You can be the first to watch and take advantage of that actionable info. My college football top 25 video late Friday night for Saturday. And then that NFL Fade the Public will be up Saturday afternoon for Sunday's games as well. And look, baseball is maybe just a bit outside now, but we still have free plays for every show. And this is a game that was just a bit outside from making the cut Thursday night. And that's because I do have a strong NFL best bet for the primetime opener tonight between the Bills and Rams. Super Bowl champ is a home dog. I'm not focusing on the side, though. I'm looking at the over-under. Get my total recommendation. My top play for Thursday, Bills, Rams, right now, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. And while you're there, a special promo code which gets you 25% off any subscription through this weekend. Short-term, long-term, any sport. Details on my page right now, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Top baseball recommendation tonight, small card, but this game was just a bit outside from making the cut. I like it as a free play. White Sox, -1.5, -115 on the run line. That is your late West Coast game at 9:40 Eastern. White Sox have been one of the biggest underachievers in baseball this year. I do think now that La Russa is out due to illness, it has been a spark. Unfortunate, but it has been a spark. They're 5-2 without him over the past week. And I think that continues to win tonight. They go to 6-2 against the worst team in the American League, the Oakland A's, who are 37 games below 500. And they're just playing out the stretch. They didn't get the youth movement like bad teams often do. When I was out of the meet and greet a few weeks ago, I went to the game in Summerlin, the AAA team, the Aviators. I got the helmet behind me here. The Aviators didn't get the memo because the Athletics are just 1-6 their last 7. So the youth movement is not working. And every one of those losses has been by 2 runs or more, except for one, a misleading 10-9 loss against the Braves the other night, which Atlanta just kept letting them back in this game. So White Sox win. They most likely win by margin. Chicago White Sox, -1.5, -115 run line Thursday night. Don't forget the NFL best bet and a huge 25% discount on any subscription. Promo code Steve25 on my page right now, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Good stuff, Steve. Guys, I'll follow that up here. I'm going to the Yankees and Twins game. Yankees have won 4 straight, kind of riding under the radar here after that dismal couple-month performance. So I think it's kind of like buy low. We can catch them on the way up here. Plus the fact the Twins have lost 3 straight. And look, guys, going back a little ways here, the Twins are 0-10 their last 10 games in Yankee Stadium. That's kind of a under-the-radar situation trend, if you will, that I look for. Maybe it's the batter's eye. Maybe it's just being in New York, something in the water. I don't know. I tend to follow those kinds of trends. They're also 2-24 their last 26 games in Yankee Stadium. I think there's something really here, guys. We get a Twins team that's 37-45, meaning they're well under 500 against teams not in the AL Central. And in the AL Central, they're 31-22. So this is a team that's kind of in the playoff hunt because of their strength of schedule, playing a lot of AL Central teams, looking to go against them, actually, against the Yankees, plus the fact those trends of them just not hitting the ball well in Yankee Stadium. Nestor Cortez on the hill for the Yanks, under -140 here, as low as -135, -136 seems to be widely available here. So I am on the Yankees tonight for my best bet. At home, prime time, 7:05 Eastern time. Throw it over to Jimmy Adams here. Check him out, wagertalk.com. Seeing a free play up in college football on the Wahoos, +4.5. We got Jimmy on a 74%, 5% play run. That's 20-7. And in all sports since May 17th, 58%. That might not sound like a lot, guys, but in sports betting, anything near 60%, over a good sample size, plus the fact I don't believe he gives out a lot of big, heavy money line favorites. So impressive stats there, Jimmy. Check them out, wagertalk.com. Jimmy, what do you got for best bets and any final thoughts for the show?
Yeah, thanks as always, Drew. It's going to be a huge weekend for me. I've got 2 5% plays up. I've got one for tomorrow and one for Saturday, both in college football. Track record was great in baseball, as you mentioned, 20-7, 74% run. I'm going to have the most money that I've wagered in a weekend all year this weekend. Always bet responsibly, of course, but it's going to be a huge weekend. I have NFL action up tonight, and we're continuing to cash in baseball. So head over to Wager Talk, get involved with either a single game or a subscription, whatever you like. For today's best bet, I'm going to be siding with. I'm going to also be taking the White Sox on the run line. Most people by now know that I'm a streak better. The A's are not in good current form, loses a 6-7. The White Sox starting to make a little bit of a push, possibly. We saw them put up 9 runs yesterday. I think they can keep the bats going tonight. And we've got Dylan Cease on the mound. Cease, as good as any pitcher I've seen throw this year. He's got a devastating breaking ball, can paint the corners, a high-velocity fastball. White Sox shouldn't have much trouble winning by multiple runs tonight, so I'll be siding with the South Side.
Good stuff from Jimmy Adams. Back-to-back 5% Friday and Saturday on the college football gridiron. Check it out. Yankees -136 for me. Steve Merrill and Jimmy lining up on the Sox run line -115. Again, guys, huge shout out to the chat box. Everybody joining us live. Feel free to comment below tonight on the YouTube channel what you're looking to bet. Any questions, more than welcome. So, please smash that like button. Best of luck with your bets. We'll talk tomorrow. Same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in.
Ready to take your favorite Wager Talk handicappers wherever you travel this football season? The Wager Talk TV app is now live for phones, tablets, smart TVs, and streaming platforms. Tune into your favorite shows like Wager Talk Today, Bet On It, and the Opening Line Report. Plus, browse through our extensive library of sports betting tips. Create your personal playlist of betting tip videos to help you prepare for the upcoming season, and set notifications to alert you when new content is added. Download the app for Apple, Android, Amazon, and Roku devices by searching for Wager Talk TV. Or scan the QR code on your screen to join the winning conversation today.